Alright, so it's a wrap for the Battlefield 6 beta, and I'm here to talk about it. Now, I'm sure all of you guys have seen a bunch of videos explaining what the setting is of the game and, the really basic details, so we're gonna push past that. There are 7 chapters in here, so feel free to skip around wherever you want to, of what topic you want to see. Let's get into it. Let's talk about the game modes. Let's be honest, Battlefield comes in 2 flavors, and by flavors, I mean game modes. Conquest and Breakthrough. Now, I do love Deathmatch. It has a special place in my heart, especially No Shore Canal in Battlefield 3, but I'm gonna be honest, I haven't really played much Deathmatch in my entire time of playing Battlefield. 95% of the time I played Battlefield has always been in Conquest. Breakthrough is kind of a newer addition. I'm pretty sure it got added with Battlefield 5, if I'm not mistaken. I do really like Breakthrough. Those are the 2 main game modes I'll be playing. I do like the open-ended style of Conquest, where you kind of go and you fight here and there, have little skirmishes with people, and I do like Breakthrough as constant chaos. So, nothing wrong with the game modes here. It is classic Battlefield as you would expect. Let's talk about the maps now. The beta came with 3 maps: Siege of Cairo, Iberian Offensive, and Liberation Peak. Alright, let's get into it. Let's talk about Siege of Cairo. This is my least favorite map of the 4 in the beta, and let me explain. Now, first, on Breakthrough, I actually will give it its flowers. It is a pretty good map. I do like how it plays on Breakthrough, but whenever it comes to my favorite mode in Battlefield, which is Conquest, it does not play like a good Battlefield map. It is way too small. The lanes are kind of like obstructed, and whenever you're using a tank, it's like damn near impossible to get to where you need to. You have to take so many turns, and there's like certain roads in the map that seem like, damn, am I ever going to be able to get through here? Now, I know it's like obviously a proper modern Battlefield, no pun intended. It's like you don't pick the fights, but this is a multiplayer video game, and it just seems like it was all kind of thrown together, and it was built separately, and then they just kind of meshed the map together with duct tape, if that makes sense. Because honestly, most of the objectives play really nice, but the way that they're connected isn't very nice. So I see this more as a Breakthrough map than a Conquest map. On Conquest, not fun. Breakthrough, it plays just fine. I like it a lot. There is no map on this list that plays so much differently to me on Conquest and Breakthrough other than this. This plays completely different. Now, the next map let's talk about is Iberian Offensive. It's better alternative. To me, this plays a lot like Siege of Cairo, but it is more open, more clear. The gunfights make sense. I love the destruction, the areas. It's all really good. I didn't get to play this on a Breakthrough game mode. I don't even know if they had it, but I did play this on Conquest multiple times. I don't like that there's not enough vehicles. I think there's only 4 tanks on the map at once. Each team gets 2 tanks, but I do like this a lot more. I like the streets and little alleyways for infantry to fight, and then I like the big open lanes for tanks to duel it out with each other. It's a classic small Battlefield Conquest map, and I really do like that a lot. I like the Jeeps in there as well. I'm hoping they bring back motorcycles and ATVs and stuff. They'll be even cooler. The destruction of both Siege of Cairo and Iberian Offensive are kind of lackluster, while the destruction physics in this game look really good. Only being able to destroy a little bit of buildings instead of the entire building like older games in the series. I mean, while it looks cool, does it function well? Not really. I do think that the destruction is going to be upped, and I hope they add like completely destructible buildings in the future. But yeah, if there's a wall, there's a good 60% chance you could destroy it. That's my only gripe for this map, is that there's not complete destruction, but some Battlefield maps just don't have all that destruction. There's more to Battlefield than just that. And then the next map we're going to be talking about is Empire State. I didn't mention this whenever the graphics were popping up, but that was because this was week 1 and I wasn't sure if we were even going to be able to get to play Empire State. But after playing it, it's an okay map. I do think it's pretty cool that you get to fight each other across the construction site. I do like that. The 2 buildings where you get to shoot over at each other. I think the atmosphere of this map is 10 out of 10. It is the best in the entire map pool, well, so far, and I do really like it, but also kind of falls the same way as Siege of Cairo. In Breakthrough, it is really good. I think that this is probably one of the craziest Breakthrough maps, if not the craziest Breakthrough map in the game. The offense is so overwhelming that on defense it truly does feel like you're making a final stand. But in Conquest, I think I played a match of this. I don't even remember. It was okay. I mean, to be honest, a lot of these maps on Conquest don't even play properly. Liberation Peak and Iberian Offensive actually play like sort of Conquest maps for the Battlefield series, and then Empire State and Siege of Cairo just kind of play like, here you go, we threw in tanks, the lanes don't really make sense, we didn't think about vehicles when making these maps really, so not really a big fan of it, but yeah, this is a really cool looking map. It is a great breakthrough map. Then I'm saving the best map for last, that is Liberation Peak. This map is Peak. It plays just like an old Battlefield game. It is on the smaller side of the Battlefield maps, but it plays like classic Battlefield. You got helicopters, jets, and tanks, and normal jeeps. This plays exactly like an old style Battlefield map, and I fucking love it. The sites are actually interesting to take over. I like that huge fort that looks over at that one objective. I will just make points over here. I don't know exactly the flags. I was playing the game, I wasn't studying it. But I love the objectives to take. I love that you could completely destroy buildings in this. I think there's like 1 or 2 buildings you can completely destroy. Not all of them, but I do like it as a step up. It may not be the most exciting to look at. It might be probably the ugliest map in the entire beta, but it is the best playing map. Nothing plays better than it. Breakthrough, it's okay. I think the beginning of Breakthrough is kind of impossible for the offense, but if you get pushed back on defense and you're defending that fort at the top of the hill, that is insane. That is like my favorite moment of the Battlefield beta, was playing Breakthrough and getting to that point. I got to attack it and I thought it was so fun. So yeah, that is about all the maps. I'd say in the ranking we have Liberation Peak at the top. Clearly Conquest and Breakthrough both play like normal Battlefield as it should. Then you have Iberian Offensive. I didn't get to play Breakthrough, but I assume it would play pretty fine. Overall, really good Conquest map. Then you have Empire State. I really like how this plays in Breakthrough, like really like it. Conquest is okay. And then Siege of Cairo. Siege of Cairo isn't a bad map, I just don't think it's up to par with other Battlefield maps that I've played in the series. Let's talk about our next point, that is gunplay. Not gonna lie, whenever I was walking into this, I thought this was gonna play exactly like 2042, and I was like, oh great, what another great Battlefield where the gunplay feels like stiff and I don't know, just something about 2042 didn't feel right to me. And I was wrong, I was so glad to be wrong. The gunplay in 2042 feels like one-dimensional, all guns have no recoil. You're shooting a straight line, are all laser beams. This feels completely different. While it does look very similar, like whenever you're watching a video, actually playing it, it feels a lot different. To be honest, so far, the only thing that I can think of that I'm not a huge fan of is how much bloom there is. It's not like Battlefield 1 bad, but it is definitely bad. I think that needs tuned a little bit, but other than that, the gunplay feels really, really good. To be honest, the time to kill is a little quick. I think that it's like a half a second too long or too quick. That's just me personally. Like, I'm used to playing Battlefield 3 and 4. The time to kill for that game, those games were a little tiny bit longer, and yeah, that's about it for the gunplay. I think it's really good so far. This is a really small chapter, but that's really all I have to say, is that it doesn't feel like 2042, so it's automatically pretty nice, and it feels like a step up from Battlefield 3, 4, 5, and 1. So overall, a good step up, and the guns feel snappy, they feel responsive, and they feel like they really do some damage. For Chapter 4 here, we got Classes Return. Now, in exclamation points, at first I was very, very excited, and I still am. This is better than Specialist, but Classes Returning was a necessity for this game to work, and they have done it, but I feel like they've done it in a kind of a weird way. As a medic and support player, having it combined all into support is really, really nice, and I do like that a lot, but honestly, I'm starting to hate the focus that Assault has, because it used to just be medic, engineer, recon, and support, and there was no class that was basically just for killing infantry. And now that we have a class only on killing infantry, I don't really like it that much. It's almost the classless class, like, you know, there is no specialty to this class. It is just default. It is the class, and I don't like that. I think that every class needs to serve its own purpose, and to be honest, you could have a team of supports, recons, and engineers, and they serve more of a purpose than Assault does by itself. Now, I did say recon in this, but after the beta, recon is losing their spawn beacon because I guess Assault needs to be more of a team play, but to be honest, they need to just revert and make Assault medic, and they need to completely scrap Assault. I know that they probably worked hard on it, but support doesn't need to be a 2-in-1. While I do love that it's a 2-in-1, I don't think that it's good for the game. They said Assault was like a lone wolf kind of class, and it really is, but that's by design. Adding a spawn beacon isn't going to make it any less of a lone wolf type thing, and it just kind of depletes recon and makes recon like basically useless, because recon special gadget that they always get is the motion sensor, and I literally never used it because it was useless. The only thing I found myself using was the spawn beacon, and the C4. I hope they get, you know, their spawn beacon back, and I hope Assault honestly gets taken out of the game, which it won't happen, but Assault's not that great. Engineer is perfect. I mean, literally run at the mill Engineer. The only gripe I kind of have is how many rockets it takes to destroy tanks. I knew it took a few, but I feel like it takes way too many. It takes like 6 now or something like that. I felt like it was not that much, but what do I know? Maybe I'm wrong. Support, while support having both an ammo and a medic bag is really nice, and the defibrillator is really nice, I don't think the LMGs work very well for it. I saw someone in the comments on YouTube say that for a frontline medic, it doesn't really make much sense to bring an LMG, and maybe engineers should switch it out. And honestly, I do think that this is nice. This is a good idea. I think the signature weapon could be an SMG, which would make sense for like a field medic that has close range weaponry. And I don't know, I don't think an LMG is good for like picking up people in those close range situations where they have to revive their teammates and then quickly get another magazine ready for the enemy. I think the SMG would fit better. Now the next chapter we're talking about is vehicles. Modern vehicles have returned, and they do feel really good. I like how the chopper feels in the tank and the Jeeps. I haven't used the airplanes. I don't really play with vehicles very often, so it's very random that I will use something like a jet, but I have used the tank quite often, and I do like the tank a lot. The Jeeps function exactly how they're supposed to. Some people said the tank moves a little different than it did in previous games, but honestly I don't feel it. Maybe I just kind of forget and it's been a long time, but I don't think they function too different, so I do like it. The only gripe I have is the first person movement is a little slow. If I make the sensitivity pretty high, then in my Jeep I'll be like snapping my neck just trying to look left and right. So I hope that's something that I can fix, like specifically for tank camera. I would love that, but obviously this video is not going to get enough views to even get DICE and their attention, so that's just wishful thinking. So far, vehicles feel very similar to old Battlefields. I like it. I like where they're going. Nothing to complain about here with them. Now, Chapter 6. We're going to get into the performance and graphics. As you can see throughout this video, the graphics for Battlefield 6 are top-notch. DICE always knocks it out the park. The graphics are insane, and the performance is really, really, really good. I was surprised to see a game like this being so easy to run. I ran DLSS on quality, I think, and I got like 150 FPS on everything low except texture quality. I could definitely push it more and get about the same, but just to make sure my mouse movements are nice and crisp and smooth, I put everything on low except for texture quality, and everything looks really good, so I do like it a lot. Nothing to complain about here. The performance is the smoothest thing about the beta. The only performance issues that I would have would be frame stutters, and frame stutters, while being really annoying, that could just be me and having an inconsistent frame rate, my GPU throttling or something like that. And also it's just a beta, so it's not going to be completely perfect, but this is the blueprint for it, and it's so far really, really nice. So let's get into the conclusion. Is Battlefield 6's beta really good? I would say it's really nice. 8 out of 10. It's almost perfect, but I can't get past the fact that we only got a taste of small maps, and it doesn't really feel like Battlefield. Like, I had those Battlefield moments where like people are attacking the fort at the top of the hill and like stuff crashes. There's tanks and explosions. It's all really, really sick, and I do love that a lot. But I want to see, you know, how Operation Firestorm plays, because that is a Battlefield 3 map. So seeing how it plays on Battlefield 6 is going to be a direct comparison if this is truly like a game that breathes Battlefield. And I have high hopes for it. I really hope that it does do good. I think the classes need a little bit of tuning. I think the maps need to get bigger. I think there needs to be more vehicle variety. I didn't mention it in vehicles, but the variety of vehicles in old Battlefield games were amazing. The only thing missing from vehicles is the naval part, and I hope to see boats in the game. I hope this game does turn out good, and hopefully DICE doesn't add any stupid skins, and I hope they actually keep the game grounded like they said they would. As always, guys, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Peace.